Alright.
Bacterial reproduction. Bacteria reproduce by two methods. One is asexual reproduction. Second one is genetic recombination. Let us see the first one, asexual reproduction. And this asexual reproduction can be done in two different ways. One is binary fission, another one is endospores. Let us see binary fission. This is the most common method of bacterial reproduction, right? Under favorable conditions, first of all, DNA replication takes place in bacterial cell. Bacterial cell divides into two daughter cells due to the formation of transverse septum in the center of the bacterial cell. Such division has been taken place. Two daughter cells are produced. Each daughter cell grows into a new bacterium. Under favorable conditions, the cells of bacteria divides by amitosis, which is faster than mitosis and meiosis. So this is going to be asexual reproduction by binary fission. So here what happened? First of all, replication is taking place here. You could see this is a bacterial cell, and inside the bacterial cell, what happened? This DNA is doubling takes place. And when you observe the middle, a transverse septum is being formed, which divides the cell into two. These are two daughter cell, and this is single parent cell at the top. These two daughter cells, both these daughter cells can grow into bacterium. And another one is going to be endospores. This is another type of asexual reproduction. In endospores formation occurs under unfavorable conditions. Endospore is a highly resistant structure. It is resistant to high temperature, pH, antibiotics, and some chemicals. These endospores used to have thick wall, and this wall is made up of calcium dipicolinate. And generally, these endospores are generally formed by Bacillus species. During favorable conditions, these endospores germinate and form bacteria. Second major thing is genetic recombination. This genetic recombination includes almost three methods. One is going to be transformation, transduction, and another one is conjugation. So let us first start with the word conjugation. This conjugation was first discovered in 1946 by two scientists, Lederberg and Totem, in E. coli. Two types of cells are present in E. coli. One is F plus cell and another one is F minus cell. First of all, donor cell F plus is attached to F minus, that is recipient cell, with the help of sex pili. The sex pili functions as conjugation tube. So a conjugation tube is formed between F plus cells and F minus cells. This conjugation tube is formed with the help of pili. Well, F plus plasmid now replicates, and the replica moves to F minus through this conjugation tube. Both the cells are then separated. That means the conjugation tube is broken down. Both cells are then separated, And due to the transfer of this F factor, F minus bacteria now becomes F plus. Let us two equalized cells, one is F plus cell and another one is F minus cell, and in between these two cells a conjugation tube is formed with the help of pili, singular pilus. Conjugation pilus is formed, and you could observe this F plus cell have a plasmid, F plasmid, but F minus cell do not have this kind of plasmid. These F plus cells are called donor cells, F minus cells are called recipient cells, and sometimes the F plus cells are called male and F minus are called female. And then what happened? Plasmid within the F plus cell start replicating, and the replica is transferred into the F minus cell. So that finally what happened? F plus cell used to have its own F plasmid, and F minus recently got what is that one? F plasmid. So both becomes F plus cell. This kind of DNA transfer is called as between two bacteria is called as conjugation. Transformation means transfer of DNA from one bacterium to another bacterium through the medium is called transformation. In the previous slide we have seen the DNA is transferred from one bacteria to another bacteria through the conjugation tube. But here no conjugation tube is formed. DNA is released into the media, and that media is taken up by another bacteria. This is called transformation. And this transformation principle identified by Frederick Griffith in 1928. He is the bacteriologist Frederick Griffith demonstrated transformation in mice using Diplococcus pneumoniae. He worked with two strains importantly. The one strain is called S-type strain, another one is called R-type strain. When you observe this S-type strain, it forms smooth colonies. The colonies are smooth and virulent. Virulent means which is a disease-causing bacteria. And R-type forms rough colonies and it is non-virulent. Okay, he has taken that R strain. This is R strain, and you could be able to see the R strain bacteria. This is R strain bacteria. You could observe it is somewhat rough on its surface. And what Griffith has done, he injected this R strain to the mouse. And then what happened? As R strain is non-virulent, so what happened? Even though he injected that one, the mouse lives. The S strain bacteria here, the bacteria is somewhat smooth when you compare it with the R strain. The surface is smooth, and he injected that one to the mouse, and as R strain is virulent, and what happened? As the disease spreads, the mouse simply dies. And now in the third experiment, what he has done, he killed that one, he killed the S strain bacteria. He killed the bacteria. Once he killed, what happened? All the bacteria will simply die, and that bacteria is injected to the mouse, and that mouse lives. And finally what he has done is R strain, that is non-virulent strain, is mixed with the killed S strain. This is very important. R strain is mixed with killed S strain, and this mixture is injected to the mice. And then what happened? The mice simply dies. So why it dies? What is the reason behind it? What is the reason behind it? The reason is that the virulent DNA, the disease causing DNA that is present in the S strain is released out maybe inside into the blood of the mice and is simply taken up by the R strain, and R strain becomes virulent and simply it kills the mouse. That is what he is explaining in this diagram. This is donor cell bacteria. What is donor cell bacteria? Donor cell bacteria here is S strain bacteria. And donor strain bacteria gives what? Donor DNA. And recipient bacteria, recipient cell. What is recipient cell here? S strain. S is the S strain is the recipient strain, which takes up the DNA from the donor cell, that is the S strain. And what happened? The DNA, the donor DNA is integrated in where? The donor DNA is integrated into R strain bacteria. Now it becomes virulent and mouse dies. And what is the conclusion of this transformation? The conclusion of transformation, the avirulent, very important, the avirulent rough strain of Diplococcus had been transformed into S-type cells. That is the transformation experiment done by Griffith in 1928. Transduction, taught by Ginder and Lederberg in 1952 in Salmonella typhimurium. Salmonella typhimurium. And this DNA transfer is mediated by phage. This virus, this phage, bacteriophages, mediates the DNA transfer from one bacteria to another bacteria. And this transduction can be divided into two types. One is generalized transduction, another one is specialized transduction. Generalized means any region of the bacterial DNA is taken up by the virus and transferred that DNA to the another bacteria. So specialized or restricted transduction, the virus carry a specific piece of DNA from one bacteria and transfer it to the another bacteria. That is specialized transduction. Okay, this is the bacteria. Bacteria has its own genome, single strand, that is double-stranded circular DNA, white colored one, and a bacteriophage is sitting on the bacteria. It is a bacteriophage. And then what it is happening, let us see. So now what happened, this virus punctured the bacterial cell wall and injects its DNA into the bacteria. So this phage DNA enters into the bacterial cell now. And later what happened, there are two different types of phages occur. One is called lysogenic mode or lytic mode. In lytic mode, what happened, whatever the phage DNA that enter into the bacteria, then immediately it starts synthesizing its own proteins, the viral proteins. It replicates, its transcription, transformation, all these processes are taken over by the phage DNA, and it starts synthesizing its own machinery. But whereas when you see this another way, that is lysogenic mode, what happened? The viral genome simply inserted inside the bacterial chromosome. See, you could able to see this one white colored DNA one side and red colored DNA, both are joined together end to end. So this is lysogenic mode. So what happened? Let us see. What happened? So in lytic mode, this bacterial, the viral particles has increased and the viral proteins are packed into virions, virulent phages. So what happened, while it is packing, while the DNA is being packed into the viral coat, so what happened, it also takes up some of the bacterial genome as well. You could see here this one. This, if you observe this virion, so it packs red color DNA, that is viral DNA. But when you observe this phase. So this phase packed with what is that one? White colored DNA. White colored DNA relates to what? Relates to bacterial chromosome. This is called, this virus is a defective particle. And later what happened? And later this after once they all the DNA is packed, bacterial cell wall is broken down, and this viruses, virions will release and they attack another bacteria. And when you come this one here, lysogenic, the one that is in lysogenic mode, it will present in the bacterial genome for a while. Whenever the stressful conditions takes place, simply the lysogenic mode turns into lytic mode. Means it also starts synthesizing all the DNA, that is viral DNA, viral proteins are being made, and these are all packed within their packed virions are formed, and once the packing is over and they break the bacterial cell wall, and simply they come out of this bacteria and start invading, what is that one? Start invading another bacteria. And you just observe here, each bacterial, each virion, you could be able to see each viral particle, you could see used to have both red color and white color inside its DNA. That is, each particle is a defective particle. That means it has its own DNA associated with some bacterial DNA. So now what happened? When in both these viruses infect some another bacteria, what happened? They insert, they release their DNA, into the bacteria. DNA may be integrated with the bacterial genome, or sometimes it may enter into the lytic mode. So what happened? Generalized transduction. What is generalized transduction? Any part of the DNA can be carried by the phase from one bacteria to the another bacteria. That is what here you could see. Whereas in a specialized transduction, only a specific DNA particles of a bacteria taken by the phase particles, and that will be given to the another bacteria. That is what is called specialized transduction.